try to look for some shells. Right now it's looking a little slim because of how surfy it is today. But we're gonna try. The first find of the day was this Florida prickly cockle shell. Had really nice spots on there, so I picked it up. A lettered olive. Didn't see too many of these that day, and these are one of the shells that we find so many of. I still like looking at them, and that one had a little hole in it. Here was a turkey wing. Must have spent a lot of time under that seaweed. You can see there's this rack line up on the beach that we were looking through. There's a little kitten's paw. Spotted a auger. Again, usually find a lot of these down here in Southeast Florida, but only found a couple that day. Just caught a glimpse of another shell in the back and found another auger right next to it. But look at this. This was really exciting. This lion's paw piece. I don't think I've ever seen one with a gradient like that. It was so pretty. I found this stone. Don't find a lot around here, and it was super smooth. It almost reminded me of a pebble. A piece of a huge milk conch. Too bad, wasn't whole. And a beautiful piece of sea glass. I love when they're this light blue color. Because it was so surfy that day, there was a lot of trash on the beach, and I found a pair of sunglasses here. This is the second pair of sunglasses I found. I found a pair in that video I put up last week. I don't know where they're coming from, but I at least can take them off the beach and put them in the trash. Sadly, here was a broken moon snail. But while I was looking for that shell, I found something more exciting. This beautiful gaudy Nautica snail. I've never found one of these. It was so perfect. I couldn't believe it.
Did you see this?
Picked up this olive. Not as exciting as that last shell. Just to give an idea of kind of what the beach looked like that day, there was a lot of shells up in the rack line, mostly clams. Here's another auger. Those bittersweet clams, some pieces of shells like that cockle, some arcs, kind of the typical shells that we find. You can tell how big those waves are there. They were huge that day, and they were breaking right on the shore, so we were way up and it was low tide at that point. Here's a broken Scotch bonnet shell. If you keep watching, you're gonna see we do find some, and here was a whole Scotch bonnet right near that. The tip was broken off. That's okay. Next, here's a broad-ribbed Cardita. Saw a few of those that day. Here is a mossy arc. So similar to that zebra arc, but this one doesn't have those stripes. Still has that nice brown coloring on it. And again, here is a Scotch bonnet. That aperture part, that opening was broken off, unfortunately, so I did put that back. Now this is special. I don't know if this is an albino arc shell. It looks like it could be a mossy arc, but there's no brown on it. Comment below if you guys think it is albino. This one I know is not. This one I know has just been sitting up in the sun for a long time. It looks like a pear whelk. It was whole, but no colors on it, sadly. I don't know why I had the urge to look under the seaweed, but I'm glad I did because I found a beautiful Scotch bonnet. Another little lettered olive. They're so cute when they're small like that. I like the top of them. And moving on, I spotted this little calico scallop hiding amid all of those shells. And yet another Scotch bonnet. This one had that nice orange pattern on it. I don't always find them like this, especially when they've been sitting in the sun for a while. Hopefully you guys don't get too tired of the Scotch bonnets today because you're going to see a lot of them. A large turkey wing or a zebra arc shell. I like to put a little variety in what I show you guys. This is an eared arc. Maybe I wouldn't always pick it up, but I really like this one, so I wanted to show you. There's so many different shells. There's so many beautiful shells on the beach. Here is a flat scallop. I found a few of these in the last video. This was the only one I found that day. No surprise, another Scotch bonnet. What is that? I think that's number 5 so far. Spotted this little guy, a mini shell. There's a checkered nearite. Have a few of those. I really like them. I find them so interesting. The black and white coloring on it. One of the favorites, giant bittersweet clam. Try to stop every so often and just enjoy the beach. These waves were so strong, they washed up this huge, I think, bamboo stick. I just couldn't believe how big it was. There are all the shells hiding under it. Found a little calico scallop right here. Or maybe it's a flat. Kind of looked like it could be either. And here is an auger. A little bit more brown tint to it. This is where it starts to get pretty interesting. I found another Scotch bonnet shell. Found a lot of them with the tip broken off that day, unfortunately, but you're gonna keep seeing a lot of these in the rest of the video. Found a false limpet. Seems like the top was scrubbed off, but the bottom, the inside was so shiny and just really cool, really smooth on the inside. In this little footprint found a beautiful moon snail, a shark eye moon snail. Look how nice that color is on the inside. From blue to red there where the eye is. Found a leafy oyster. Had to stop and say hi to a beach friend. Look at this little crab. Can you spot him? He's so hard to actually see in the sand because he looks exactly like the sand. And he actually was letting me get pretty close to him. Found a big lucine. Don't think it was a buttercup. It actually kind of had more of this sort of cream gray color to it. And right near it, another Scotch bonnet. Comment below if you guys are sick of them at this point in the video. I know I'm not, because I love finding them, and anytime I get to find one, I get really excited, but just curious what you guys think. Here is a frond oyster. They're interesting looking. Sometimes I find them attached to branches. Another Scotch bonnet. Still trying to find one with a tip attached. Those points are all broken off. If you can spot it, here is a Scotch bonnet. And I must have put something good out for myself because the tip was attached on this one. Someone please comment what count you're on now. Found another one. Can add that to our pile of Scotch bonnets that we're carrying around at this point. Here's something new. Found a little tinted Cantharus. Usually we'll find them in the shore break in the water, not as much on the beach. And another beautiful Scotch bonnet shell. I don't know if I could get sick of them. I just really like them, and creating a nice little collection for ourselves at home. Pretty lucky with these big piles of shells on the beach. There's a lot to look through. I love the sound that the shells make.
Kicking this stuff around.
Can you guys see that from far away? It's a cowrie, or what I was hoping was, but sadly it was broken, and it was too bad. That probably would have been a really nice shell, a really big cowrie shell. But I was rewarded with another Scotch bonnet, and this one was just perfect. You can see those spots, and the tip was intact. Good size, so I was happy to find that. And here's a shell that I actually found another one in my last video, and luckily you guys gave me a lot of comments. It is an Antillean file shell. So pretty. It's just translucent. You can see those beautiful little ribs on it. I was happy to find one of those. Another Scotch bonnet. Don't know if it was orange more so because of the spots, or if just been hanging out too long on the beach with everything else. Found another crab claw. This one had pretty cool spots on it, but I don't take those home because I just know that they would stink really bad. Here's another Scotch bonnet. Spotted another little tinted Cantharus shell. A huge chunk of sea glass. I love finding the bigger pieces. Oh, and another shark eye moon snail. It was my lucky day with those. Those are the best ones that I've ever found. So pretty.
Huh?
Look, another tiny little one.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Good on it.
Hi.
I like this coral. Here's the last shell. I found a cute little bay scallop, and I'll see you guys next week.